Trevor Hunter here with Dirt Bike Tests. We're out here with Jay Clark, and he just recently refurbished this 2017 KTM 300 XC. He's done a lot of work to this thing, a lot of the kind of necessities to make it a real, true race off-road bike. So Jay, tell us about it.
Well, I love these 300s. These things are awesome. The 17, 18, and now the newer generation 19, all really cool 300s. It's a newer generation bike with the counterbalancer engine. The older ones, I never really got how people liked them because they vibrated a ton. I didn't really get it. You know, yeah. You felt like all these old guys were riding these 300s like 13, 14, 15. Things have vibrated so much, my arm. I'm like, how do you guys ride these things? Well, anyway, this newer generation bike vibrates less than my four-stroke. You know, they don't vibrate. You know, the 250, 300, 17 and up, just amazing for that. So that's one of the reasons we like it. I found a really good deal on this one. I was lucky to find a good industry deal on this one. Had like 25 hours on it. So since it was pretty clean, I said, hey, let's fix this thing up and let you guys see what you think of this thing. So okay, so on these bikes, we've learned a lot of what we really like. We don't really race, my boy and I, so we really are building these things for trails. And we ride from, say, 2,000 feet up to 10,000 feet mainly. A lot of California high desert stuff, and then a lot in Utah desert stuff, and then mountain stuff in the warmer time, in the summertime and stuff. And so I'm kind of short, and I'm not that great a rider, so I fall. So I have to put wraparound handguards on. We got the pipe guard because we're in a lot of rocky, gnarly conditions, and like Moab, Green River, 5 Miles of Hell, those kind of trails. And so I got to have good protection on there. Bulletproof makes a swing arm guard here for the rear, also for the rear rotor. And the shock that hangs down on this, that linkage hangs down, so you want to protect that. So those are our big protection points with the P3, skid plate and pipe guard. Those things really protect the bike. And then we have, for performance mods, we did the Keihin carb from Sudco sells those, and then JD Jetting has a jetting kit for that. So that's what we've gone with, and this thing's we kind of keep it jetted a little bit on the lean side for, say, California here, lower, but we're mainly riding small, tight stuff. We're not wide open, on the moto track too much on this thing. So, and we don't really seem to have to jet it much. Just play with the air screw when we get up to elevation. We'll lean it out a little bit. It's about all we have to do. So we like this Keihin carb on here. We've run the Electron on some of them, but we like this one here on this bike. And with the V-Force reed cage, Tom Morgan TMR cuts the head, reshapes it, and that gives us a little bit more power because this thing has a really low compression stock. Mm-hmm. So we can still run pump gas. We have a little bit of C12 in there right now with some pump gas, and this thing runs really well. So, and then to help, the suspension stock is actually pretty good for trail riding. For slower riding, I think it's really good for most riders. I don't know if you'd ever really need to mess with it. The rear is a little bit soft. So for anybody, I'd say over 170, you probably need to put a stiffer rear spring. Other than that, don't have to do much. We have the luxury of having factory connection go through this thing and really dial it in. Also, for the radiators, just in case we fall, we had ICW brace these things up, and then also IMS makes these. We have a large tank, obviously, but they have a coolant catch can inside the frame. Really cool deal. So when this thing gets hot, if you overheat the thing, it's going to puke in there, come right back out later. So you'll be okay on coolant. Trail Tech makes a fan. We have that fan set up on there. Just really good stuff, as you can see. Of course, it comes with a Vertex piston in there, and those things, we get about 100 hours on these trail bikes on the piston, which is really good. If we were maybe racing and doing more stuff, we'd probably do it at 40 or 50 hours. But with just slow trail riding, we can go 80 to 100 hours, no problem. Super Sprockets, chain and sprocket, got the Stealth sprocket on there. Some really good bits. The stock wheels were in good shape on this thing, so we left those. We got the oversized Tusk front rotor, and those are some of the cool bits on this thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of this thing riding, and hopefully you enjoy it out here today.
This bike looks amazing, and if it works anything as good as it looks, it's going to be a great bike. So we're looking forward to riding it, and we've got a couple different riders out here. So yeah, just get ready to hit the trails, and we'll see how it works.
Yeah, I'm glad you dig it. We got a really cool look on this thing too. I forgot to mention it's got Polysport plastic with DecalWorks graphics, and Moto Seat did the seat cover, and you can see this is this flow yellow, and DecalWorks calls this toxic green in their coloring. So we kind of made everything match for a very unique looking KTM. So a lot of people aren't going to realize it's a KTM when they see this thing at first glance,
No, it looks amazing, like I said. So we're looking forward to riding it, and we'll see how it works. All right, we just finished up riding Jay Clark's KTM 300 XC build. I had a blast. Obviously, it looks good. It works really good too. The gummy tire that hooked up great, especially in the rocks and like a tight single track. The bike is super torquey. You throw it in second, third gear, whatever you want. Pull you through all the canyons, the tight single track. If I noticed, just coming off like a 250, definitely felt a little heavier, but in a lot of cases, I actually liked it. I preferred the little heavier feel. So yeah, overall suspension was really good. It was set up for me, so it felt pretty good. And yeah, overall, it was a super fun bike, easy to ride, and good in the single track. Ryan, what do you think?
I'd say this is like the do-everything bike. It's got a lot of torque down low to pull you up the hills, get you out of the corners, but still a lot of top end to go through the fast straights, maybe some whooped out sections. The big tank felt good. Doesn't feel wide in between the legs or anything. These pegs are real grippy. The tires are great, super good for like the tight rock stuff. The bark busters are real good in some of the tight trails where you're bouncing off the trees. Overall, super torquey. I'd say this would be the great do-it-all bike if you're looking to get something new or do an XC off-road build.
All right, that's a wrap. You could look for the full story for more in-depth analysis and some photos at dirtbiketest.com. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. So thank you.